So a big weekend coming up on the gridiron. Before we get you ready for that, let's first put a wrap on the week that was with another edition of Top Plays. Let's begin with how we arrived at our final two combatants in the 6A class, starting with Emmaus, who was held off the scoreboard in the first half of Friday's semifinal at Parkland. The Green Hornets going into their bag of tricks early in the third quarter to get something going on offense. Hand off to Tyson Karat, who airs it out downfield to Jaden Robinson, 52 yards on the completion. Karat now a perfect 4 for 4 passing on the year for 159 yards. This big play setting Emmaus up in the red zone. The Green Hornets, well, they would cash in on the very next play, an 11-yard scoring strike from Josiah Williams to Dylan Darville. That tied the ball game up at 7 apiece. That before Darville quickly found the end zone again, this time from 22 yards away, putting Emmaus in front. A tremendous juke at the 15 before sprinting to pay dirt. Darville finished the night with 4 grabs for 36 yards and a pair of scores. Hornets hang on for a 21-14 triumph over the Trojans. Emmaus is back in the district final for the first time since 2018. Big night for Williams, big night for Darville. We know in 18, Emmaus faced Freedom that year, and they'll get the Patriots once again here in 2021. Freedom back in the district final for the 5th time in the last 6 years. And dual threat quarterback Brian Taylor is a big reason why this time around. The senior excelled with his legs Friday against previously unbeaten Northampton, carrying the ball 13 times for 143 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Highlight of the night coming late in the first quarter, and Taylor displayed both his strength and elusiveness in ripping off this stunning 64-yard scoring scamper, which put the Pates up 14-0 at that point. Freedom would hold on for a 21-9 triumph, but the K-Kids gave the Pates everything they could handle in the second half. Northampton down 11 in the fourth quarter when Caden Henritzy bulldozes his way through a host of Patriots on this perfectly executed screen pass, rumbling 35 yards to the house. K-Kids ultimately came up a little short, but that doesn't take away from a season to remember, finishing 11-1 overall, enjoying their first undefeated regular season in program history before earning their first district playoff win in school history. So Freedom and Emmaus will vie for a spot in the state tournament this weekend. Central Catholic is already in after earning its second straight district crown, doing so this year with a 21-14 win over Northwestern. The victory spearheaded by a punishing performance on the ground from junior Caden Schaefer, who toted the rock 32 times for 160 yards and a trio of scores, finding pay dirt from 1, 4, and 8 yards out as the Vikings claimed their 13th district title in program history, tying Becca for the most district football titles in District 11. Central now 9-3 on the year. Whitehall, meanwhile, fell just short of its second straight district title, despite an offensive explosion in Friday's 5A championship with East Stroudsburg South. Before the district final, Zephyr's sophomore QB Trey Dog Manitz had thrown just 2 touchdown passes all season. He delivered twice that many in Friday's tilt alone, finishing 17 for 20 passing for 239 yards and 4 scores. 3 of those TDs hauled in by senior wideout Bryce Bayshore. Whitehall would ultimately fall 47-41 in overtime, but an impressive season finale nonetheless for the Zaps. And speaking of impressive QB performances, we saw a record-setting one Saturday in the college ranks. As part of the 69th all-time meeting between Moravian and Muhlenberg, 3rd straight year, Mule's QB Mike Natkowski earned the Bianco Award as Muhlenberg's game MVP, finishing the day 17 for 25 passing for 208 yards and 5 touchdowns. The senior also added a rushing score, tying the program record of 6 total TDs in a game for the 3rd time in his career. Natkowski now tied for 6th all-time in Division III with 135 career passing TDs.